Hey there, amazing people. Ever felt that knot of dread in your stomach? That tiny voice whispering, what if everything I've worked for just vanishes? It's a scary thought, right? A pain we all share, that fear of losing what matters most. Or maybe you've had that nagging suspicion, that feeling that something isn't quite right at work, like a puzzle piece that just doesn't fit? Tell me in the comments below, where are you watching from today? It's so cool to see how far our little stories travel. And hey, before we dive into something truly unbelievable, how about you hit that like button? It tells me you're ready for a story that's just for you. Yes, you. Now, picture this, a boss strutting around like they own the world, barking orders, making everyone's life a little bit, well, let's just say unpleasant. But what happens when that boss messes with the wrong person? Someone with a secret, a big secret? Let's find out. Meet Ava. She was usually bubbly, always ready with a smile for her co-workers at the Daily Grind coffee shop. But lately, a dark cloud seemed to follow her around. The new manager, a loud, impatient man named Rex, treated everyone like they were beneath him. He'd snap his fingers, roll his eyes, and his voice could curdle milk. Ava, usually so bright, found herself shrinking under his constant criticism. It wasn't just her. Everyone felt it. The joy had been sucked right out of their little coffee haven. One particularly busy Tuesday, Rex was on a rampage. A customer had complained about their latte being lukewarm, and Rex was taken out on everyone. He pointed a finger, sharp as a knife, at Ava. You, girl with the sunshine hair. You made that, didn't you? Can't you do anything right? Ava's cheeks burned. She had made that latte carefully, just like always. But before she could even open her mouth, Rex continued, his voice booming. Honestly, some people just aren't cut out for this. Maybe you should just leave. Find something you're actually good at. The words hung in the air, heavy and cold. Ava's heart pounded. Leave? This job, even with the grumpy new boss, was her lifeline. She needed the money to help her mom. Tears welled up in her eyes, but she blinked them back. She wouldn't give him the satisfaction. What Rex didn't know, what nobody at the Daily Grind knew, was that Ava wasn't just the girl with the sunshine hair. Ava was actually Anya Sterling, the CEO of Sterling Coffee, the very company that owned the Daily Grind. She was undercover, trying to get a real feel for the company from the ground up. She wanted to know how her employees were being treated, what the real issues were, and boy, had she found one. Let's pause for a moment. Can you imagine that? The person yelling at you, the one making you feel small, is actually your boss's boss? What would you do? What would be going through your mind? Share your thoughts in the comments. Now back to our story. Ava, or rather Anya, felt a cold fury rising inside her. This wasn't just about a lukewarm latte. It was about respect, about how people were being treated. She had heard whispers, of course, but seeing it firsthand, feeling the sting of Rex's words, it was different. It was personal. She looked directly at Rex, her usual gentle eyes now hard. "Excuse me," she said, her voice surprisingly steady. "Could you repeat that?" Rex scoffed. "I said, maybe this job isn't for you. Maybe you should just be on your way." He even made a little shooing motion with his hand. The other employees watched, their faces a mixture of fear and sympathy for Ava. Anya took a deep breath. This wasn't how she planned to reveal her identity, but Rex had given her no choice. Reaching into her bag, she pulled out a small, elegant business card. She placed it on the counter, right in front of Rex. He picked it up, his brow furrowed. His eyes scanned the card, then widened some more. The color drained from his face. The card read, Anya Sterling, Chief Executive Officer, Sterling Coffee. A stunned silence fell over the coffee shop. You could practically hear the coffee beans holding their breath. Rex's mouth hung open, like a fish out of water. He stammered, "See, CEO, you're?" Anya nodded slowly, her gaze never leaving his. "Yes, Rex, I am, and I've been working here for the past month, just like everyone else. I've seen how you treat people. I've heard your management style." A wave of murmurs rippled to the small crowd of employees. Relief washed over their faces as they finally understood why this seemingly ordinary girl had such a quiet strength about her. Rex's bravado had completely evaporated. He looked like he might faint. I had no idea, he mumbled, his voice barely a whisper. I was having a bad day. Anya's voice, though calm, held a steely edge. A bad day doesn't give you the right to belittle and disrespect your team, Rex. These people work hard. They deserve to be treated with kindness and respect. Think about that for a second. How often do we see people in positions of power forgetting the human element? It's a sad truth, isn't it? But sometimes, the universe has a funny way of setting things right. What do you think should happen next? Should Anya fire Rex on the spot? Or should she give him a chance to learn and change? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm really curious to see what you all think. Let's continue, shall we? The tension in the air was so thick, you could cut it with a butter knife. Rex stood there, pale and trembling, waiting for the axe to fall. The other employees watched Anya, their eyes filled with mixture of hope and apprehension. Anya sighed. "Rex," she began, her voice softening slightly. "When I started this company, I had a dream of creating not just great coffee, but also a place where people felt valued, where they enjoyed coming to work. What I've seen in the past month, it breaks my heart." She paused, looking at the faces of the baristas, the bakers, the delivery drivers, the people who were the backbone of her company. You are all the heart and soul of Sterling Coffee, and anyone who makes that heart ache has no place here. Rex flinched. He knew what was coming. He opened his mouth to speak, to beg perhaps, but Anya held up a hand. "However," she continued, and a collective gasp went through the room, "I believe in second chances. Everyone makes mistakes, but those mistakes need to be learned from." She looked directly at Rex, her gaze intense. "Rex, you're not fired yet, but you are suspended, without pay, for 2 weeks. During that time, I want you to reflect on your behavior. I want you to understand the impact your words and actions have on others." She then turned to the other employees, her expression warm and sincere. "And for all of you, I want to say thank you. Thank you for your hard work, your dedication, and for putting up with this." She gestured slightly towards Rex, who was still looking like he'd seen a ghost. "When Rex returns," Anya continued, her voice firm, "he will be on probation. I will be personally checking in, and I expect to see a significant change in his attitude and his treatment of all of you. If I see even a hint of the behavior I've witnessed, he will be gone. Is that clear?" A chorus of "Yes, ma'am" echoed through the coffee shop. Relief washed over their faces, mixed with newfound respect for the quiet girl with the sunshine hair who turned out to be their boss. Rex could only nod, his head bowed in shame. He knew he'd been given a lifeline, a chance he didn't deserve. Now, let's think about this. Was Anya too lenient? Should she have fired Rex on the spot? Or was giving him a second chance the right thing to do? What would you have done in her position? Your opinions matter, so don't be shy. Share them below. The atmosphere in the daily grind changed dramatically after that day. There was a sense of camaraderie, a feeling that they were all in this together. Anya, no longer undercover, spent more time in the shop, working alongside her employees, listening to their ideas, and making sure they felt valued. Rex returned after his suspension, a changed man. He was quieter, more thoughtful, and actually listened when people spoke. He even started bringing in donuts for the team on Friday mornings. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. He was learning, slowly but surely, what it meant to be a good leader. Anya's undercover mission had revealed a problem, but it had also created an opportunity for growth, for change, and for a company to truly live up to its values. And that, my friends, brings us to the heart of the story. Sometimes, the people we least expect hold the greatest power. Sometimes, the biggest changes come from the most unexpected places. And sometimes, a little bit of empathy and a second chance can make all the difference in the world. What did you take away from Anya's story? Have you ever witnessed something similar? Share your experiences in the comments. Let's create a conversation. And remember, treat everyone with kindness, because you never know who they might be. You never know the battles they might be fighting. And you never know the impact a little bit of respect can have. Thank you for watching. If this story touched you, if it made you think, please hit that like button and share it with someone who might need to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that explore the unexpected twists and turns of life. Until next time, take care and be kind to one another.